Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for this special Super Bowl coverage just 1 week away before the big game. I'm Madeline Carter for King 5. We've just gotten word that the New England Patriots have officially arrived in California, and that is where we find our Ariel Orsuto, who also just arrived in California, and she watched them arrive. Now, Ariel, what was that like?
Well, Madeline, you couldn't miss it because the Patriots, I think you can see the plane still behind me, they have their customized jet with the Patriots logo, their 6-time champions on the side, and every single one of their 6 Lombardi trophies on their wing. And I'm sure all the Seahawks fans are hoping they keep just 6 Lombardi trophies on their wing, so that way you don't add a 7th one after this Super Bowl here. But yeah, it's pulling away right now. The team is off. They're on their way to their hotel, but the whole team, all the coaches, all their loved ones and guests, they all filed off the plane. They grabbed their customized hats, and then they went over to their buses, and that was that. But it was quite the spectacle when this big old jet came through, and you knew it was them right away because of what it is. You can see that monstrosity right behind me. Madeline?
As she mentioned, those 6 Lombardi trophies on that jet. We've since learned that that's actually a Boeing 767-300 wide-body jet, obviously custom for the New England Patriots. And that was taken out at San Jose Maneta International Airport as the team arrives ahead of the Super Bowl, which is, again, exactly this video that we took earlier as that jet was getting ready to land at the airport. Of course, our crew, Ariel, is there right now, because we are anxiously awaiting the Seahawks to arrive, and we are told that their plane is set to land at about 5:15, which is in less than an hour from right now. So we're anxiously awaiting for our Seattle Seahawks to arrive as well. But again, this video right here is showing what this looked like as this custom Boeing jet branded specifically for the New England Patriots was arriving in California. Now, of course, the New England Patriots have quite the Super Bowl history. As Ariel mentioned, they've won 6 Super Bowls, they have 6 Lombardi trophies, and this will be their 12th appearance at the Super Bowl this coming Sunday, 1 week from today. And of course, they have had a dramatic turnaround this season under first-year head coach Mike Vrabel, and pretty soon we're going to be showing you video of what it looked like when the head coach stepped off the plane, as well as quarterback Drake May. But this will be quite the matchup. Of course, the Seahawks are looking to rewrite history. The last time they were in the Super Bowl, they faced the Patriots and certainly did not end in the Seahawks' favor. So we're going to have to see what happens. The Patriots, they advanced to Super Bowl 60 after a 10-7 AFC Championship win over the Denver Broncos in snowy Denver. That was a gritty, defensive game that clinched their spot in the league's title game. And of course, their NFL franchise is based in Foxborough, Massachusetts. They had a massive rally earlier this morning where they sent off the Patriots, and then, of course, they got on the plane, and now it is landing in this video here in California. And our crew was there to capture this. We've got many crew members, including we have Ariel Orsuto out there on the ground, Paul Sylvie. We're going to have way more reporters there throughout the week as we lead up to the big game, and that includes our Jim Nelson, Drew Andre, Drew Mickelson, and other members of our team, an amazing behind-the-scenes crew that will be out there bringing you Super Bowl stories as we head up to next Sunday, when all eyes will be on this major matchup between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Here's a closer look at that jet here. You can see the custom red, white, and blue design, New England Patriots. And as we mentioned, on the wing, or at the very end there, you can see the 6 Lombardi trophies that they have won in franchise history. This is the Patriots' first Super Bowl appearance since 2019. making a return to the pinnacle after a few rebuilding seasons. And the 2025 Patriots, they finished 14-3, and again, they're rebounding from back-to-back 4-13 seasons as well. Here's another angle here. We're seeing the plane make its way around the runway. We know that, of course, the big game against the Seattle Seahawks, that's going to be on Sunday, February 8th at Levi Stadium. It's, of course, in Santa Clara, California. But this shot was taken at the airport. That's the San Jose Maneta International Airport. And we are getting that look at that jet on the ground. Now, of course, I wanted to walk you through a little bit more about the Patriots here. Drake May is their young quarterback. He's in his second NFL season, and he became one of the youngest starting quarterbacks to lead his team to the Super Bowl. And of course, again, they're under first-year head coach Mike Vrabel. With him, they experienced that dramatic turnaround this year, and that led them back to the Super Bowl. It is, again, their 12th appearance in the big game this year. And this is their first since 2019, which marks that return to the Super Bowl after a few rebuilding seasons. Now, also wanted to show you a little bit more about this. We know that they won 3 Super Bowls early in that run in the early 2000s under Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, dominating the NFL for nearly 2 decades. So, of course, all eyes will be on the big game this Sunday as the Seattle Seahawks try to rewrite history against that team. Some notable moments here. The Patriots, they were 16-0 in the 2007 regular season. That was one of only a few teams to go unbeaten, though they ended up losing the Super Bowl that year. The franchise began as the Boston Patriots in 1959 before eventually becoming the New England Patriots. Players, they really embraced a road team, tough identity from team culture, channeling teamwork and grit that helped them stay undefeated on the road in the 2025 playoffs. Patriots defensive coordinator Terrell Williams was declared cancer-free just ahead of the Super Bowl. That was a powerful story there about resilience heading into the big game. Well, we know that the Empire State Building, it lit up in Patriots colors after their AFC title, and that drew some heat from New York football fans. That was a bit of a rivalry note there as we talk about fan reactions. Of course, fans, a lot of people will be watching to see what happens. Because again, we know what happened last time when the same matchup was at the forefront here. So I was actually out at the VMAC earlier today in Renton. That's, of course, the Seattle Seahawks practice facility, and there, dozens of Seahawks fans, they had gathered for their send-off. Now, it wasn't quite as large as what we saw for the Patriots. That's because the Seahawks team, they kept it mostly quiet until late last night. We found out where fans were going to be able to gather to watch the buses go off so that we could send off our very own Seahawks so that they could have a moment just like this. Once again, the Seahawks are set to land here in California at about 5:15, and so we are anxiously awaiting. That's in just a little over 30 minutes from right now. But if you look here, we're getting a zoomed-in shot. You can see we're having people step off the plane here. This, again, is the Patriots arriving in California. You can see them deboarding there as, of course, we are leading up to the big moment. And I believe right now we're seeing coaches and staff get off the plane first here. That's who's on your screen right now, if you take a look. Now, back to the Seahawks. We were talking about how earlier today we had a massive send-off in the Seattle area. That was in Renton at the VMAC. Dozens of people out there cheering on. I believe it was 6 large buses full of team members that were heading toward the airport. We had crews right where I was, and then also along the route in SeaTac and at the SeaTac airport, where the team, of course, boarded the plane for California that they are currently on right now. They're still en route, and in the meantime, our Ariel Orsuto, she had already arrived at the airport in San Jose, and that's how she got this picture here of the Patriots arriving, and soon it'll be a similar story for our very own Seattle Seahawks. The Patriots, we know that they've elected to wear white uniforms in Super Bowl 60. That's a choice tied to superstition and historical success in that color. Of course, we're going to have to see what their strategy is this year to see if they can do a repeat of what took place in 2014. Now, that is certainly not what the Seahawks are hoping to see this time around. And here we go. Here come the New England Patriots. These are the players deplaning at the moment. We have them coming down the stairs here. You can see there are about 4 players in the picture right about now. And we, of course, are tracking to see once they all get down on the ground here. We do know that this was obviously quite the moment. You can see a lot of people capturing this as they get off the plane. A big deal as they left New England and then, of course, arrived where they will be obviously competing in just 1 week from right now. You can see we've got a long line of players going to be coming off the plane here and capturing that the whole way. Our Ariel Orsuto, she did a great job explaining this process of getting them all there and making sure the arrival goes smoothly, because there's going to be a lot of coverage leading up to what takes place 1 week from now. Of course, this is just the beginning. We're going to have to see what happens on the field. However, again, they had a massive rally this morning, and right now, looks like that is head coach Mike Rabel. Right there, you can see him right there in the center of your screen. He, again, this is his first year as head coach, and the 2025 Patriots, they finished 14-3, rebounding from back-to-back 4-13 seasons. A truly dramatic turnaround under this head coach. Once again, that is head coach Mike Rabel. We're back to some more players here. You can see them all wearing matching, it appears almost matching uniforms. They've got a lot of Patriots branded sweatshirts, sweatsuits, as they are getting off that journey from New England to California, where they will once again face off in the Super Bowl, their 12th appearance in NFL franchise history. Again, they've won 6 Lombardi trophies, and the Seahawks are hoping that this year will not be another year for them to win. Obviously, the Seahawks are hoping to earn their 2nd Lombardi trophy and to rewrite this story against the New England Patriots that ended much differently more than a decade ago. And of course, we're going to be documenting this entire journey from the moment right here when the Patriots land to, of course, when our very own Seahawks land in California, and that is once again set to happen now in just under 30 minutes. We are anxiously awaiting for when their plane touches down on the ground, but the Patriots are officially there. The Seahawks are up next, and of course, there is a lot more to come in the days leading up to what is going to be an incredibly big deal on the field. Of course, we're watching this matchup between the New England Patriots and the Seahawks. Seahawks looking to rewrite history in Super Bowl 60. For now, we're going to end this coverage. We're going to have much more coming up at 5 o'clock on King 5. For now, I'm Madeline Carter with King 5 News.